Good morning, guys. The name is Mark, and I'm going to fire off another video here. I go through phases where I don't really see anything worth putting out videos, and then occasionally it's like, oh, okay, man, I just have to put one out to straighten things out because things are seriously out of order, okay? And so that's kind of what I'm doing. So anyhow, I want to talk about the simulation, the matrix, right? And matrix usually refers to the womb, and you also have another word called tricks in it, right? And so the matrix, the womb of the matrix, right? And the lie is a simulation, okay? Like what these people are trying to do is they're trying to remove the ether, which is probably the primordial God force that is the binary soup for everything, right? So it's the binary force that binds everything. And these people are trying to remove this. They're trying to tell you that you live on a globe, you're being hurtled around space at 1,000 miles an hour. The tilt axis is 66.6 degrees. It's always the numbers 66, 666, 333, right? You know, it's always this bullshit. And basically, the simulation is they're trying to have you believe that you live in a matrix, but you do not live in a matrix. The matrix is the lie of everything that is a creation or a creature of the mind. And a creature of the mind is something that's not real. Like, I'll say to you, somebody will come up to me and, oh, so you're Mark Simser? You're this person? No, I'm not Mark Simser. I am not a person. And furthermore, how could I be a name? That's something that's written on a piece of paper, right? I'm comprised of billions and trillions of cells or whatever. I have a central nervous system. I have this. I have that. I'm full of love. I'm full of spirit. So obviously, I can't be a name. You follow me, people? And people who were persons and citizens were only supposed to be government workers, and only government workers because we allowed them to be in that position to say deal with the roadways, the waterworks, all that stuff, right? Basically, they were the only ones who were supposed to pay taxes, and only a citizen was supposed to say that they worked for the government, right? So if you don't work for the government, why would you apply for a birth certificate that states that you are that person? You could have never been that person. So obviously, being that you can't be that person, you're applying, you're lying for something that is not you. It's a creation and a creature of the mind only. And a prime example, years ago, like I would do videos with dictionaries. I would take you to the birth certificate site of Ontario, right? And I have a video on the birth certificate site of Ontario, and it says, and we went right directly to that site, and it said, who can apply for the person? And it says, the person who is responsible for blah, blah, blah. But you were never the person. How could you be a person? Why would you apply for a name on a piece of paper to state that you were a name on a piece of paper? Again, that's a creation of the mind. It's a creature of the mind, and it has no bearing in life whatsoever. But then people are going and they are applying, they're applying, they have applied for this stuff, they have applied, and you look at the words and it's all right there, people. So these people are lying to state that they're an identity, an id entity, and you are an entity. You were never supposed to carry around another entity with you known as identity. You follow me, people? Okay. So this is how you bust the matrix open, right? They want us believing that this simulation is real and mankind is always prone to hating each other. They're always prone to wars. They're always prone to this. They're only prone to that when they're forced into poverty, fear, starvation, trying to escape from a death camp like Nazi Germany, right? So the simulation, everything that is a lie is the simulation. And you'll always notice the lies, they're always outside of yourself, and they want you to become part of the lies. Like, well, now that you're a part of this government, if you want to keep working for Trump, well, you have to keep lying for him. You see where I'm going with this, right? So we'll call it soul trading, I guess. What are you willing to trade your soul for? Are you so destitute and broke and poor that you're willing to go and apply for an ICE agent job so you can make 100 or 200,000 a year, and that you can arrest innocent people? Do you see this? Do you see how terribly wrong things have gone, people? And so, you're back to survivalism and escapism. What will you do to survive? Will you sell your soul? That's why they call it soul trading, people. And I'm sure they're not talking about your solar plexus or the sole of your feet, or maybe they are. Maybe that it's all inclusive, right? You have to be careful with this stuff. So the whole point of coming out of Babylon, right? The Phoenicians, the phonies, and everybody's running around with an iPhone, right? Phone, P-H-O-N-E, phony, right? Like the Phoenicians, P-H-O-N-I-E, I-E, right? Maybe I'll learn to spell here. And so it all comes down to a spell, and everybody has people running around and putting each other in a spell, and they're all using words, and they haven't even got a clue what these words talk about. And all these people are running around going, oh, well, the government can't do this and the government can't do that, so let's hold a protest, and we're all going to stand out in the street and we're going to say, no king, no king, no king. But actions speak louder than words. So what did these people do? They wasted their time, went out on the street, went, no king, no king. They all went back home, and Donald Trump and his cabinet members, all his demonstrators, they laughed at everybody. They're laughing, and they're going, these people are such fucking idiots, and you people keep voting for these monkeys, and stuff like that. So people, the whole thing is, do you want to chush up, girl? The whole thing is preposterous, right? So everybody's running around. Nobody knows who they are. We live in a society where, like, if you have to look within, and everybody's always looking without for the solution, and the solution is within you. It's not without. So all these things like, well, you have to wait another term for him to finish looting and stealing. And no, you people don't have to wait for nothing. You see how it's always outside of yourself? When I'm done high school, then I'll go to college, or I'll go to university. And then when I'm done university, I'll become a doctor. And then when I'm a doctor, I'll pay my school bills. And the whole thing is preposterous, people. It never stops. It's always outside of yourself, right? When this, when that, fungool, it's all fucking bullshit, people. Look within, find your strengths, and stop this bullshit. Like, people say, well, we're going to war to help the Ukrainians because the Ukrainians are right and, everybody else is wrong. When you realize all these wars are staged and stuff, people, you won't even pick up a gun. Why would I pick up a gun to go shoot innocent people that I've never met a day in my life? Maybe some are innocent, maybe some aren't. And if you really want to stop the wars, people, go to the source. Go arrest Putin. Go arrest Netanyahu. Go arrest Trump. Show these monkeys who the fucking bosses are, and be done with these people, and go enjoy your lives, and go spend time with your children and enjoy stuff. This bullshit of living in fear, you don't have to live in fear. So if you want to live inside the matrix, just allow everything to keep going on what's going on, and this is what's going to happen, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. Come out of the lies, come out of Babylon, come out of the spell, and realize that when you go within, you'll soon find out that everything you want is within you, and it's not without. It's not on the outside, it's within. And when you realize this, you have all green lights to be you. And isn't that what this is about? We have a whole society of people trying to be things that they're not. They're running around in costumes, costumies. They're like a pile of fucking clowns. Well, you did a kilometer over 60 there, so that's $100. That's why they're called costumes. Costumies. They're clowns in fucking costumes. Every day is fucking Halloween for these clowns in costumes. And I can't emphasize this enough. And And these people think, oh, I have a title, I'm the judge. Okay, so you're judgmental, so you just told me all I need to know, you're mental. Okay, you're completely of the mind, and it's not a good thing. You're not of the spirit. You're not of the ether. You're of the mind, and you'll destroy people's lives. And then they'll run around, and people will praise these people, and they'll put them on the covers of Forbes magazines. But ask yourself, what do these billionaires like Bezos and all these people do for people? They do absolutely nothing. They hoard all the wealth. They don't share it. And then, like, say, for example, you'll go to these stores. They'll ask you to make donations, and everybody will make donations, but like, why are you people making donations why isn't the store who's raking in all this money making donations? You'll always find they want it to come down to you. You help the poor, poverty-stricken people in Honduras or wherever. You help them. Here, you help feed the poor. Print this phony money off and be done with it. Just like the Federal Reserve System people. There's nothing federal about it. They called it federal, but that's about it. They print this money up out of nowhere. They lend it to the government. And why is the government borrowing money off these fictitious, fraudulent bankers who are loaning the money, and this loan can never be paid back? There's not even enough money in society to pay back these trillions and trillions of dollars of this fictitious debt. So once again, you can see that this is all a creature of the mind. We never needed money to survive. Eat your money. Eat your money and let me know how that goes for you. I'll tell you, people, if we were in the end days and people were starving men, you could have all the gold and silver you want, man, but do you think somebody would trade a loaf of bread or a carrot for that? You would have to have rocks in your head. So again, you can see this is a creation and a creature of the mind, which all the lies are. And they're always coming to you by and through demons traders. Okay, they're traders and they're demons, and they're delivering a message at the age of the mess. And everybody's just sitting back going, oh, well, when he's out of office, things are going to get better. No, things aren't going to get better. He's setting the bar, man, for the rest of the dictators that want to come in. And again, like, if you people want to allow a false, fictitious creature of the mind, which is a president who's not even a citizen, who's not even a person, and then you have a guy like Jamie Raskin, no person in office shall. Well, the Constitution doesn't say that no man shall, and Trump is a man. He is not a person. He has a persona. He has a person, which is the name Donald J. Trump, which is just the trade name. The person is the trade name for the vehicle, which is the citizen on the citizenship, and it's all about trading, right? That's why they're called merchants, mayor and chance. They would chant on the waterways, come see our sail, Bob, come see our sail, right? And they would chant this shit, and mayor refers to the water. So it was a water chant, right? And then all you crazy people are running around going, oh, well, they have sails at this store. Did you see a ship pull in with its sails? No, but they're having sales. You people really have to wake up here. Nothing is what it seems, man. They'll have you so confused. They'll have you thinking that you're this and you're that. And meanwhile, you're not that. You're a creation from the Creator, for God's sakes. And it's just that simple. So people, you have to come down to planet Earth here and realize what's going on, and realize with your eyes, not real lies. And the hardest part to things is admitting that we have been deceived, and people would rather run around and pretend like they've never been deceived and the whole 9 yards, rather than just saying, hey, we're deceived, man, let's deal with this guy. Clearly the laws do not apply to him, and I'm telling you why the laws do not apply to him. And you know what? Nobody will share these videos, nobody will care, but yet everybody will hop on to the Midas Touch or whatever these shows are called, and they will watch all these people talk about Trump, and Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that, and all this speculation, right? But they will never do anything about it. And nobody ever says simply go get Trump and his minions, these miscreants. And why is this? Because people are scared. And if you're that scared, is this freedom? Obviously, that tells you people something. I'm going to share a story with you people, okay, before I let you guys go. And years ago, when I was doing all this, okay, I was starting to think, man, am I going nuts, or is what's going on actually true? And I went down the rabbit hole, and I'm like, holy friggin' shit, man. We're all out complete friggin' slaves, right? And then it hit me and it's like, oh my God, man, you guys are all out full out slaves. You're a full out slave. I've always known stuff was wrong, but you couldn't, the lies are so deep that you quite couldn't put your finger on it. But when I started looking at one thing at a time, as opposed to looking at the big picture and going, why am I confused from the big picture? I would take the smallest little detail, like I would look up a word person. I would look up a word citizen. I would look up these words, and it starts telling you exactly what's going on, right? And one of the reasons why, like, I'm not liked and government citizens don't like me is because I unveil their fraud. And let me tell you, when you go to unveil somebody's fraud, they're going to try to take you out. And they tried to take me out. They tried throwing me in a nut house. They stole the girlfriend's caravan, They did plant stolen lottery tickets in the van, which was kind of funny because at the time I was working for the Alberta Gaming and Lottery Commission Control Board, for God's sake. So as if I'd be so stupid to steal lottery tickets with all these numbers on them that would lead them back, right? It's no different than their fictitious money, right? It's all a scam, people. So getting back to it, at one point, I honestly thought I was losing my mind. Everybody I would talk to, oh, you're freaking losing it. Oh, you're nuts. Oh, you're crazy. You're going crazy. And because I was actually kind of somewhat listening to these people, then I was like, whoa, man, are you going crazy here? Like, what the fuck is really going on? So what happened was, I realized, like, that day, I'm like, wait a second here, man. Are you truly going crazy? Are you truly losing your fucking shit? What is truly going on around you? And then I'm like, you know what, man? I need a good sleep and I need some quiet time. And after I had a good sleep and I had some quiet time and I meditated on things, that's when I completely did a 360 and I realized exactly who the fuck I was. And I was not going to allow myself to be part of the lies, and I was no longer part of the lies. I was now, I woke up, and it wasn't a pretty experience. And like I say, it's like, am I losing my fucking marbles here? And then at the end of it, man, after a good rest and some meditation and shit, and I went within, not without, so within, so without, right? As within, so without, right? So I'd rather be without the bullshit and within as without, okay? So the whole thing, and then I gave my head a good shake, and it's like, whoa, I realized who the fuck I was and who the fuck I certainly wasn't, and I am not a person, I am not a slave, I am not a vessel on your citizenship, and that's that. I am not a person who carries around a persona with me, which is a facade, which is an id entity, another identity. I will not carry around another entity. Again, that's a creation of the mind that these people have all created, having people think that you're a name on a piece of paper. This is where the whole fraud starts, people, okay? You are not a name. You are not a last name. You are not supposed to pay taxes unless you physically worked for the government. Physically worked for the government. And back to Raskin's bullshit. No person shall. Well, Trump's not a person, and the Constitution doesn't say no man shall be in office stealing, right? Or taking emoluments or gifts or whatever, right? And this is what Trump is doing. And so I've unveiled the fraud for you people. And because he's not a citizen, the law will never work. The law has never worked, people, and the law was designed not to work, right? Again, like the law, like it'll say on the back of their cruisers, to serve and protect, but that's incomplete sentence structure, people. They didn't state who they serve and who they protect, but I'll tell you who they serve and protect. It's not you. It's the political corporate interests who these people serve and protect, right? You steal a candy bar from Canadian Tire, you'll have a SWAT team in front of you, 5 cruisers and people out with guns and the whole 9 yards. And but yet, if I were to kick in your door, well, you'd call the cops, and you'd probably get about 10 pizzas delivered to your door before the cops would show up. You follow me, people? So again, it's a 2-tiered, double standardized system, and it's comprised of lies. And everything these people do, from putting you in debt to saying, oh, we have a national debt to pay and all that stuff, it's all a lie. And all these politicians that are state senators and all that stuff, they're not citizens and they're aware of it. And they all pretend that they're citizens by using these trade names. But at the end of the day, you go to sue them or take them to court and they say, sorry, I'm pleading the fifth. I'm not to be compelled to be a a witness in proceedings against that person, which is a name on a piece of paper, the corporate umbrella. And the corporate umbrella was designed to protect you if you went bankrupt. So again, the corporate umbrella, if you claim you're not a citizen, but you claim that you are entitled to use that corporate umbrella, which is the name, the trade name, the persona, the facade, right? And you can see how all the lies start. So these people are coming up to you going, well, I'm Donald J. Trump. But are you really Donald J. Trump? I'd say, are you Donald J. Trump, man? Or are you just, so if we took you to court right now, you'd say you're Donald J. Trump? Would you be willing to be a witness and proceed in, saying what you have to against that name of Donald J. Trump, right? Obviously he won't, people. The whole thing is fraud. It's a pile of shit. It's a pile of lies, and that's all the Matrix is, right? And they'll want you believing that the pile of lies is so real that it's real, and it's not, people. It's a creature of the mind only. It's a figment of I Magi Nation, and you look up I and Magi and Nation, and we have a nation of Magi's, man. Magi straights who are tricking you people. You people run around thinking that you know the law, and everybody's speculating. And people, that's all the work of the devil, man. You're supposed to remain in the present, and you don't go protesting. No king's allowed, no king's allowed. So what'd you people do while you protested? Okay, you brought awareness to the fact that you don't want a king, but did you do anything? Not a goddamn thing, people. Not a goddamn thing. You arrest these bums, man. Then you can say, look at what we did. Wouldn't you feel better knowing this guy's in jail and he's not molesting more children? How would you feel if he molested your children, people? Would that be all right with you? Would you still want this guy? And where are these children of all these abused children and stuff not coming forward? How come we're not conveniently hearing from them? Forget about Epstein and Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell and all that shit. Forget about that. How come we're not hearing from the victims of these people, right? Just like Donald Trump's sex rape charge with E. Jean Carroll. Same thing. Conveniently, before he got taken to court, that legislation all got changed to now it's a civil suit. When has murder ever became a civil suit? You follow me, people? Again, you can see through the fraud, and you can see how clearly these people are all protecting Trump because they're all in on the lies with him, and they all stand to profit. And I guess we'd call that the prophecy, right? It's been prophesied that they're going to make money, right? So the whole thing is fraud, people. You can eat money, you know what I mean? And these politics aren't doing anything for you. So anyhow, people, I hope this video finds you as well. I send everybody green lights, peace and love. And well, till then, please keep your heads up, your sticks on the ice. Come out of the matrix, come out of the womb of lies and deceit and all that stuff. And just know that, the universe loves you, man, and you are love. And dealing in these lies, it's hard to be very loving when you're getting caught selling your soul into a pile of bullshit, okay, people? So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this finds you well, and please look after each other and be genuine. And the next time you see these ICE workers trying to surround people and stuff, simply surround them and say, listen, people, I don't think you want to be putting your hands on that woman. You're outnumbered, and go home. And if you do this again and we catch you, well, sorry, tomorrow we're gonna throw you in alligator Alcatraz. Again, they have all this money to build prisons. They have all this money to fly people to El Salvador. But do you think they could honestly feed some poor homeless vet on the street, right? The whole thing is just disgusting, people. Disgusting, So anyhow, I'm going to leave it at that. Seems like I do videos and nobody cares anyhow, but at least I care, and you know what? I guess that's all that counts. So anyhow, until then, keep your heads up, your sticks on the ice. I love you all. Cheers, bye, namaste, peace.